All right. Hey, good morning and happy Saturday to you all. Today is May 22nd, and I am working this 2020 DiBenedetto Monster Menards number 21. And I was working some of these decals yesterday. I've got this in the water just a minute ago. Hands are washed and clean, and I'm just trying to get this side decal on, this large side decal on, and as you can see, I've got the front. The hood looks awesome. I love that hood, and that was why I ordered the decals with the black removed on this particular car. However, I am learning that might not have been the best decision. So, looking at the pictures of this car, it's basically, and I've got a good example here, it's basically just like this car, okay, and this is the one where I had the fluorescent yellow background removed, and you can see the hood is black, and and all that. But the problem I'm looking at this car is the whole thing. I mean, this whole area here is supposed to be all, well, except the bottom here, it's supposed to be all fluorescent yellow. Even this back area, the spoiler, is all supposed to be fluorescent yellow. This is black here along the bottom. But my problem is the decals don't come with the yellow spoiler decals. And as we're going to find out, there is no way on God's green earth that this decal is going to provide full coverage of everything up here. Past experience, this is going to leave a lot of black exposed. So, as they say, hindsight is 2020. Looking back on ordering the decals for this car, I should have ordered it with the fluorescent yellow background removed, and then had the black decals across the hood and the front nose. Yeah, that's just the way it's going to be. Unfortunately, this car, and Alec is one that asked for it. I think there was somebody else that asked for this car. I can't remember. I don't have my file up in front of me. But, that's just something that, unfortunately this car is not going to be 100% or even close to 100% the way it looked when it was driven on the track. And I'm kind of talking and I'm going over this area. So what I had done was, when I put this decal on yesterday, I had used some of the microsole, and what I noticed this morning was there was a little bit of some ridges left over, because that microsole really softens it up so much. Sometimes it'll buckle a little bit, and you just have to flatten it out. It's not that big of a deal, but you do have to be careful. You don't want to rub this across too much and have the decal rip, which does happen. I've had that happen to me a few times. Disappointing, but as you work these things, some of you are embarking on this hobby. There's definitely some growing pains, whether it's the decal work or it's actual painting, reassembling, sealing. There's a lot of opportunities for for running into trouble, and I can give you guys and put these videos up and give you guys some lessons learned, but some of this stuff is just something you kind of have to experience and go through and grow and learn, kind of on the job, so. All right, before I put these on, I received some fan mail yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And I just have to say, some of you guys are crazy. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Let me show you what Chris sent me. And you'll be seeing these in pictures and things like that. But Chris, man, this is awesome. Check this out, guys. This nice setup. It's like a diorama of sorts. Check this out. Is that cool? Or what? Nice fence there. I love the design of the sign there. That's cool. It's like a track. And what I'll be able to do here is let me see if I can pull one out here. Like so. And it's a nice backdrop for when I take pictures for cars that I'll list up on eBay. And any others that I want to display. That's cool. That is just really cool. Very much appreciated, Chris. You packaged it up really well in the box. As you can see, not anything was damaged on it. Very well packaged. I think you've done that before. I don't know, but yeah, that is cool. That is really cool. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put it yet. I was showing it to my wife and my daughters yesterday, and they were like, "What the heck is that?" So I had it on the kitchen table, but I have to figure out exactly where I want to place this. I don't want to move it around a lot, but anyways, I want to be able to put it in different places where I can take pictures and stuff. I'll have to set something up here to be able to do that. But yeah, thank you so much. That is really a blessing, and that's really cool. That's not something that I would have made myself. I have no ability to do that kind of thing. And I mean, I've thought of it. I've seen other people make different things and have different things for their, customs and when they take pictures and stuff, like a little garage setup or whatever. So I've thought about it, but I've never embarked on doing it. And no, that's really cool. That's really cool. It's like it's got like the safer barrier here. That's neat. Nice fencing. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Thank you so much. That's awesome. That's awesome. You could sell those, Chris. You could like custom make those things for people. So that is cool. All right, let's try to get some decals on here and see what this looks like. This is all one decal. I thought of like cutting it or trimming it to make it easier to put it on, but we'll just see. We'll see one piece, and if I need to adjust, I'll adjust later. See how this goes. These can be tricky. I mean, I still think this is going to be a really sharp car. It's just not going to be complete. Come forward a little bit. I'm really curious about the race on Sunday. They're racing in Texas at this like road course. I haven't done a whole lot of like research on it yet, but road courses are big, and they're starting to I got a frog in my throat this morning. They're starting to expand their short tracks and road courses and stuff. So it's interesting to see. They're racing here at the first time, I think, Texas somewhere. Okay. So I don't normally do this, but as you can see, I put the B-pillar decal on before I did this, and I may regret that. Wow. I can clear my throat this morning. So yeah, you can see that gap right there. That's probably going to be the most noticeable piece on this that's not 100%, unfortunately. You can see how I like to use my thumb. As long as it's clean and dry, it does a good job. Let me pull this up a little bit, because when I go to use my hands, I have the camera a little low. So I was reading love reading the Psalms, and I'll just share this real quick thought with you guys. One of the Psalms says, "The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands." And, sometimes when you read, you kind of just gloss over stuff. You you just keep reading, and you don't really think about what things mean. But that kind of caught my attention. I guess it was yesterday. The wicked is snared in his own hands. No, I'm sorry. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. I don't know about you, but sometimes I am my own worst enemy. Do you ever hear that phrase? Where you're your own worst enemy? Like, life has obviously dealt people a bad hand at times. We have a Wednesday night prayer meeting, and one of the guys in the church retired and moved to West Virginia. That seems to be I won't say a popular thing, but that does happen, whether it's West Virginia, Florida, or wherever, right? And so he had moved there, and there was other family there, I think his brother's family. But unfortunately, his brother, I think also retired, was, it's a property out there. A lot of people, when they move from an affluent area in Washington, D.C. area to West Virginia, they typically have some, finances, and they're able to buy a nice home with property. Well, anyways, make a long story short, he was out cutting his grass in his field, had a large riding lawnmower, and somehow, some way, it flipped over on him, and he died. It was a tragic accident. And I was just thinking how, heard that on Wednesday, and then read this in my devotions, and, how, okay, there are people that, life deals them trials and difficult circumstances. But then there's people that don't have those difficult circumstances and trials, or may not have had them yet. But they kind of get caught up in, being their own worst enemy, where they have gotten involved in things that, bring them down. Nobody, but themselves to blame. And, yeah, I don't know about you, but so far that's kind of my situation. Life has been pretty kind to me. I have good health, and, I don't have any, tragic, accidents or deaths in the family, at least my immediate family. And, so the problems that I run into are of my own doing. The difficulties in life are, I can look back and say, okay, well, that was my own dumb decision. Why did I do that? So anyways, just a thought for the day. I am trying to work at not being my own worst enemy. And I hope you guys are too. Because there's just so many things in this world that distract us from what we ought to be doing, how we ought to be spending our time. And, it takes diligence, it takes work. That's why I like this hobby so much, because, obviously, I can't let it control my life, and this is the only thing I do when I'm not working type of thing, but I really enjoy this hobby because, I don't know, it's a good, fun hobby. There are other hobbies that are not so good or fun. And so, yeah. You can see how difficult it is working this area here. It just doesn't want to lay flat. Naturally, doesn't just come in and lay flat over this fender. And so I've been working this in, trying to smooth things out here. Fuzzy or something. Just takes time. Just takes time. There's a couple other YouTubers I like to watch, and they're probably not as slow moving as myself, because you guys probably realize how, just methodical and slow, I am. But of late, I to try to speed up time and stuff and everything, I'll change the speed of the video to 1.5, sometimes 2, double the speed, just to be able to get through it. And so, I don't know, I think about, when I watch my videos from time to time, it's like, I need to watch this on double speed because he's just too freaking slow. So yeah, I find that's funny. Okay, we're getting there, as you can see, guys. This is looking better. But yeah, it just doesn't, lay down. Takes some work to get this to lay down. And you can see why I probably should have waited on putting this B-pillar in, because I have a little overlap here. I don't think the decal, or that little decal right there, is fully covered with the yellow. But, yeah, another hindsight 2020. I should have just waited to put that on. Yeah, this area right here, for some reason, same thing. I like to hold pressure on it, but if I hold it too much, my thumb sticks to the decal and pulls it away. So you have to be kind of careful doing that. When you use the microsole, you have to really be careful not to, rub super fast and hard, and then it'll rip it off, right there. So, okay. See how that took some time? It took a lot of time, actually. Was that a good almost 10 minutes, right? Working that. Using the microsole. This little brush. I get that to tuck a little bit in there. Just need to let that dry. Let that dry there. Okay, so let's get this in. I don't know why. Maybe just because it's cool. But I love putting the Monster M and the Monster words over top of the black background. It just looks so awesome. It looks awesome. You got to give it to those, design folks. That's a cool design. That M, that's just really cool. No doubt about it. The design of that is awesome. That's why they make the big bucks. Those companies, they invest a lot of money in those designs. Alright, let's see how this matches up here. And looks. It's not too bad. If I can get it. I like to get it on top and then gonna pull it down. Wood flooring's coming along. I'm about 75% done. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm thinking in the next week, gonna kind of push hard. If I can work it the next week, I might be able to knock it out. That's my plan, by next Saturday to be done with it. We'll see. It's been a few weeks already. My wife's happy with it so far, so good. So, isn't that the key? Isn't that the barometer for success? Is if your wife's happy with it, success, right? And Billy, you'll appreciate this. When it comes to like entrance and exit criteria, the key performance parameter is, what's the wife think? And if the wife gives it the thumbs up, then you have successfully met your exit criteria and you can proceed on to the next phase. Some system engineering lingo there. This is going to curl in a little bit here. I just need to let this dry. Now that I got these, the orange and the red lined up, I can just kind of, let that dry, and then I'll work at tucking this a little bit later once that dries on there pretty good. But yeah, I think it looks good. Again, hindsight 2020, I would have put this on after I put this down, because this kind of overlaps just a little bit. It overlaps the window just a little bit too. But if I would have waited until I put this down, I could have put that over top of it. Might have looked a little bit better. But this side looks pretty good. This doesn't line up 100%, but it's not a whole lot I can do with that right now. This is on. Maybe what I can do is water this and lower this down just a little bit. Maybe I have this decal too high. I bring it down a little bit, and that will help. Yeah. So even though this is dry, I can water that up and loosen that up and bring it down. I haven't put any coats of sealer on it yet. You know, again, when you compare this to the car that was driven on the track, this is all yellow, and the spoiler's all yellow. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen here. I don't have the decal to put this in here. And even if I tried to patch something in there, it wouldn't look right. We've talked about painting the fluorescent yellow. The fluorescent yellow gets 2 coats of white primer and then 1 or 2 coats of the fluorescent yellow. There is no way on God's green earth that I can do that there. So, and if I did try, it would look horrible. So I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Sorry, Alec. But yeah, and the spoiler's going to be black. That's just unfortunately the way it's going to be. Like I said at the outset, if I were to do this all over again, I would order the decals with the yellow removed. But I wanted to try, like I said before, I wanted to try with the gloss black here, just to see this gloss nose and the hood, how it looks with the gloss black paint with the M. And I mean, I think it looks really good. I really like that. But the rest of the car back here is a little less than 100%, so yeah. Alright, so I'm going to continue working that piece. Just a couple of things. So eBay has changed around the way that sellers get paid, and it looks like their fees have changed as well too. I haven't looked into the details of it, but just an example, I sold the Raphael Lazard truck to somebody. The final cost was the final auction amount was $38. And I pay for shipping. It's not a big deal. So shipping was like $3.50. But eBay fees were $6. So right there, instead of $38, you take off the $3.50, and then you take off the, that's $34.50, and then you take off the $6. That's $28.50. So the $6 out of 38, that's not quite 20%, but 10% would be $3.80. Anyways, I'm just sharing with you guys a little bit of my frustration with eBay and the amount of fees that they are charging sellers. It's pretty extensive. So I'm going to be thinking about how best to maybe move on from eBay. I'll probably still do it, but I don't know. I need to think about that. Hope you guys have a blessed Saturday. Take care. Thanks for watching.